India Inc. And we've got Bharat Madan, Time Director and CFO at Escorts joining in on the show right now to talk about how their quarterly performance, or rather monthly performance, was. Bharat, great to have you on the show. Your Q1 volume growth was significantly below the industry average. Tell me, what are the reasons that you attribute to this, and when do you think this gap is going to close in?
Hi, good morning. So I think first of all, I think if you look at the growth pattern, the last 10 or 12 months, you look at the growth has been more, skewed towards the southern and western market, where Escorts has not been historically a very strong player. So market share in those markets ranges from 5 to 7%. But if you compare to the markets like in the north and central India, where our market share is in double digit, it's 13 to 15, 16%. So there the growth has been only about 0.5%. So that is, I think, one of the reasons for the skewness, which is why you've seen some dip happening in the market share in the first quarter. But I think going forward, I think we expect now, I think as we move forward, since the base for the southern western market is already high from the last year, so the growth momentum will start skewing and balancing it out, which can play to our advantage. So maybe in the balance of the year, we could see some improvement happening, and we should be able to catch up on the lost market share in this balance 9 months.
And do you foresee signs of the revival already, Bharat? And would it reflect in the numbers from the next quarter itself?
Yeah, so this time of festive season is a bit preponed. So last year it was from September till November, but Diwali happened in November. But this time everything, I think, will be ending in October. So it will be August, October. So that will obviously play on the quarter numbers too. So Q2 will have good numbers coming in. We'll have 2 season months of August and September coming in now. So we expect definitely that pre-movement should be visible, and we're already seeing good demand coming in now in our stronger markets too. And that's also coupled with the product launches which we have done, to cater to the market even in the weaker areas. So there's a good, product lineup which has already been launched under 2 brand name, and we are also planning to introduce new products under the 3rd brand name in the September-October month. So with that, I think the portfolio will also get stronger, and it can also cater to a pan-Indian market.
And therefore, you're maintaining your margin guidance, right, of 12 to 12.5%, Bharat?
Yeah, that's right. So that will be maintained.
Is there a chance that it could be upped too?
So I think it will depend on the commodity prices. So last quarter the prices were soft, and we also taken a price increase in the first quarter. So that's the impact which you saw in the margin, where the tractor margin also improved. But in this quarter we're seeing some pressure on the commodity side. So some margins may really come under pressure. But we don't know how the next 2 quarters will really pan out. So as of now, we don't see any adverse comments really coming in on the metal prices, on the commodity prices. So hopefully things should play out well. So there is always a possibility. You never know how the market moves. So, but we don't see any major downside to numbers from here.
All right. Morning, Mr. Madan. This is Shrishti also joining in. Let's touch upon your export growth because you have guided for a 25 to 30% of export growth in FY26. What's driving that confidence, and which geographies are expected to lead the charge? And more importantly, how is Kubota expected to participate in this?
Right, if you look at our first quarter number also, the export has grown almost 80%. Obviously, the number has come on a very low base of last year. That's why the percentage looks a bit high. But if you look at our total numbers, we're doing about 500 to 600 tractor export really now every month, and that's a number which we expect will continue in the balance of year also. So the total export, almost 52% export happened through the Kubota network in the last quarter, and that number has been fluctuating in the range of 40 to 70% in the last 3-4 quarters. So the demand is really coming now more from European market, where the compact tractor demand has caught up, and we've been able to ramp up the supplies to that market now. But we also started exporting to Mexico, South Africa, Sri Lanka, even in Southeast Asia. So numbers are improving, I think, on month now.
Madan, help us understand, what's your reading on the TREM 5 deferment? How will a delay impact your product roadmap and cost structures in the 25 to 50 HP segment?
If the emission norm changes happen, then definitely it's a cost impact. It can vary anywhere between 12 to 15%, and now it will be quite high. So that's why the industry is a bit concerned, and we have given representation to the Ministry of Road and Transport to consider deferring those norms and maybe bring it in the high segment first. So let's see how the things move. But otherwise, yes, one thing could be definitely if it really happens on the date which was earlier, then there can be some pre-buying which can happen in the last quarter, which means the industry can actually jump. But that means the industry next year probably will go down. But chances are the thing will get deferred, then there should be no impact really. But we are ready from our side in terms of the product lineup. I think we'll be ready in time, even if it comes from 1st April 26.
Along with that, Mr. Madan, with respect to your upcoming capex plan, and you have already announced what are the plans regarding your expansion in Uttar Pradesh. Seems like once again a delay in the new greenfield plant. If you can help us with any timelines that how do you foresee the capex moving ahead? What could be the next plan of action?
Yeah, so we are in touch with the UP government. So I think the land acquisition for the parcel of land which we are interested in has been slightly delayed. So their government has already acquired major portion of that land, but some parcel is still pending, which they expect to be able to complete within this month. So I think once that acquisition is done, then we will start the formalities of acquiring that land in the UP state. But to your question, in terms of the delay in greenfield, so it's not really going to impact our overall, demand requirement because our capacities even today are sufficient. We are ramping up on existing capacities to take it to more than 200,000 tractors now. So once that happens, so I think it will be easily able to meet the demand requirement, whatever comes from the domestic market and export market. So the delay in greenfield by 6 months or a year is not really going to impact our capacities as such. And if need be, we can definitely wrap up the construction once the land acquisition gets completed, and maybe do it even earlier than planned if the demand supports that.
Okay, Mr. Madan, thanks for that view, and thanks for your outlook on what we can expect in terms of the company's performance in the quarters to come. On that note, we'll let you go.